now. I call the Township of Aleppo workshop meeting of July 8, 2024 to order at 7:02 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
President Jones.
Present.
Vice President Williams.
Present.
Commissioner Garrett. Present. Solicitor Stone.
Present.
Manager Patterson.
This meeting will be video recorded as all others and will be uploaded to YouTube. Do I hear a motion to approve the June 17th, 2024 legislative meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Old business, Gamma Pickleball Club conditional use hearing.
So the planning commission met last week to review this for the second time, and they recommended approval subject to the applicants getting two variances that they need. One for the number of parking spaces available at the site, and one for the number of methods of ingress and egress to the site. So the planning commission had put on a condition and had Gamma come back to make sure that the fire chief was comfortable with the one driveway that comes in and out. He did write the letter saying that he checked it out, he was comfortable, he recommends that they install no parking signs along either side of the driveway, just to make sure that no cars park and doesn't get narrower. But, so they recommended approval. The zoning hearing board is meeting this Wednesday to hear the variance requests for the parking and the egress and ingress. So, if those variances are approved, then on Monday at the legislative meeting, there'll be a court reporter here and we'll have a conditional use hearing for the board to consider and approve that pickleball club in that site. If they do not receive their variances, that will be postponed. The conditional use hearing will either be canceled or postponed depending on what the applicant wants to do, because it can't be approved as is without the variances. So it's prepare for it, but if you get the packet on Friday with no conditional use hearing listed, it's because they did not get their variances. If the zoning hearing board makes a decision. They normally do the same night, but I'll keep you posted.
Thank you. Paving updates.
As you can see, our parking lot is finally paved. We're waiting for the striping and the curb stops along the front of the building, that's why those big things are there. And we're waiting for them to restore the yard. There are a lot of sections of the yard that are lumpy and bumpy and need to be dug up and regraded by the contractors. So those are the last two things, the striping and the grass are the last two for the 2023 paving. Then the 2024 paving, which is a tar and chip project on multiple township roads. The engineers and the contractor are trying to schedule a pre-construction meeting for that coming up in the next week or two. So that's the preliminary meeting to talk out any issues and then try to get on their schedule for that.
Good. Any further discussion about paving or Gamma?
I am going to raise a question regarding Gamma in executive session.
Okay. Hard to recycle collection event.
So that event is coming up, it's July 27th at the Buncher Industrial Park. Pre-registration is required, and Patty was on their website today and saw that they said that there are very few spots left for that. So if you wanted to recycle some things and had some, junk to take, it would be good to get online and register for your spot very soon, because it seems like it's filling up.
And this goes beyond our arrangement with Waste Management?
Yes, this is tires, things like that, like much more difficult things than just the household stuff that our arrangement will pick up.
Can you explain that just a little more detail?
Explain our program.
The difference.
Can you grab the flyer? Yeah, I don't have that.
So what if I want to bring stuff?
You do not have to be
A resident,
This
okay.
is just a local.
Okay, because
It's put on by
I've done it
PRC.
before and I do want to do it, but are you saying I should sign up?
You have to register for a time slot, so that everybody doesn't show up at 9 a.m. because everybody wants to be there to get
Right.
over with. When you go on, you pay in advance for what you're taking, and then you get a time slot.
And you can do this all online?
Yes, you have to do it all through.
Okay,
through,
can you give me the,
Yeah, that's what it's- Thank you.
can you give me the,
Yep.
pamphlet, thanks.
Is the
So-
link on our website?
Yes, it's
Good,
on our
good.
latest news.
Okay.
So this one, there's a $5 participant fee for certain, a whole list of things that they'll take for that. Then they have small Freon appliances, tires, they do have televisions and stuff on here, but our program allows you to do, if you're a resident here. This has fluorescent tubes, and then polystyrene packaging material, microwave, stereo equipment. So a few different things than what our program
Good.
does. So if you're interested, both of these things are on our website, what our program does and this, both on our website. So.
Any other discussion? New business, motion to ratify the second amendment to the Articles of Agreement with Cargill Incorporated, extending the salt delivery deadline.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second. Second.
Any discussion?
So this is the agreement that, we have a Cargill, 5-year agreement with Cargill to purchase salt. And because we've had a couple mild winters, we did this last year where we don't have room to take the amount of salt that we need to purchase by the end of the contract year, which was, June 30th. So we needed to extend this. Cargill offered to extend it, and we now have until December 31st to purchase all of the required salt for this past winter season. And then we have to start buying the salt for this upcoming winter season. So this extends the date and for storage. So we appreciate it for Cargill, for sure.
And it's very gracious of Cargill.
Yes, we appreciate it.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Quaker Valley COG Route 65 Intergovernmental Cooperation Agreement.
Okay. So this is something that the COG Board of Directors has proposed, and Art is one of those members. They are looking for a way to bring all of the COG communities together to essentially to make grant applications more attractive, because multi-municipal things are important. And so there have been multiple studies about the 65 corridor from Emsworth down to the Beaver County line. And this is looking for a way to get everyone to sign on to saying, we support this and we support the improvement of this corridor. While Aleppo doesn't touch it, and I think there are a couple other communities that don't touch it, our residents drive 65 all the time. So Aleppo is affected because our people drive it all the time. Right now, they're not looking for this to be adopted, they're looking for feedback. So they're looking for the board all their boards, to read this agreement, it's like a page and a half, and see if there's any feedback you want to give about it. I will say that at the managers meeting that we went to, some of the objection, where some people were saying what says that there might be a financial contribution, but no one knows what that is yet, because we haven't applied for any grants yet.
Right.
So that's the hiccup for some people. So, but other than that, the thought of everyone signing on to just say, yes, we as a group collectively think this is important, that is the intent of this.
Okay, so we reviewed it, Ann and I reviewed it, and the form that they're suggesting, which they say you can use your own, form, is not, it's not one that I would recommend. It has some, the act that they're operating under, which is the Intergovernmental Cooperation Act, requires certain things to be in the agreement. This agreement doesn't contain some of the items or some of the clauses that the act, the statute requires. So if you decide to go ahead, you probably want to let us redo that agreement and make it compliant with the statute.
To protect us?
Yeah, I mean, and it also sort of falls in that category of, do you care? I mean, if it's defective, it's kind of like no harm, no foul, in the sense that you're not really agreeing to do very much. Again, like it falls into the category of, how much do you care about having, as your solicitor, I pride myself on making sure that I give you quality work. This is not up to what would be my standard. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. Citizen participation.
Well,
Oh,
I have a point to bring up. at the last COG meeting, or when the presidents met for breakfast, there was a long discussion about the emergency management, and more than half of the people who were sitting around the table have done little or nothing. They are aware that they have to do it, but they just have done nothing, and we have had ours finished for a couple of years. I looked at the work that we've done on emergency management, and I would think it would be very nice if we would give them copies of what we've already done. But I wasn't going to hand it out without your approval.
We have to get Judy's, she's our emergency management coordinator, and some information is proprietary, and so there's certain stuff that can be modeled, but a lot of our stuff is based on Aleppo's specifics, topography and things like that. So that's definitely a conversation
All right.
to have with Judy as emergency management
Yeah,
coordinator.
okay.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know that everybody seems to be very positive toward it.
Yes, I think ours is pretty good, yeah.
Okay, I know we got one communication about fireworks, Gwen.
We did get one complaint through just the online system. There was a concern about fireworks being set off in a residential area on the 4th of July, and it referenced some kind of state law that I had not looked up yet. So
Act
I'm
74.
gonna get it, I'll look into that this week and talk about it with you guys and see
Gwen,
how
you're
we
shaking
respond.
your head. Can you summarize Act 74?
Yeah, a few years ago, there were updates to the available regulations for fireworks that could be handled either at state level or municipal level. And there were some options for how you could further restrict the use of fireworks. So we can go through some of those options with you if you're interested in adopting more stringent regulations.
I think we need to take a look.
Did we, I seem to recall looking at that when it came out.
I think we did a
I
couple years
think
ago.
we did.
I feel like Dan looked into it too. I feel like we had some
I feel,
conversation about it.
yeah,
but
I
don't-
feel like, check your records, Gwen,
Yeah,
to make,
go back
I have
and
a feeling we might have already adopted something.
We did kind of a rollout for everybody when they changed.
Yeah.
So it's possible yours is done and we just need to
I don't
update.
think
Or I feel like-
I don't think you added to
I
it.
think we talked about it, but
Yes.
nothing.
Kept
was-
it the way it
Kept it the way it
Kept
was.
it the way
I
it
think is where it went,
Yeah.
yes, so,
Okay,
I
so
think
you
that's
can report on that next week.
yes, sure.
Good. Any additional citizen participation? Then we will enter into an executive session at 7:15 to discuss possible litigation. We are leaving the executive session at 7:33 and re-entering the workshop meeting. And there is a motion.
A motion to authorize the solicitor to report back to the other taxing bodies that they're in favor conceptually of a joint litigation arrangement subject to final review by the township commissioners of the proposed agreement.
Second. I'm so moved.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Any additional subject matter? We're adjourned.